Tonight was the first time I sat there and watched Sean Strickland, and I realized that he doesn't have an overdrive. He has first and second gear, and then that's it. We said that Sean Strickland could not afford to do what he did in the first fight. And what did he do?
Same thing.
Same exact. He actually moved back less in this fight than he did more.
He moved back more, but he didn't throw.
Fight. But he didn't throw.
He wasn't throwing his hands. His right hand, how many times did he actually? I mean, he took some big winging shots at times, but it wasn't an effective, attack with his right hand. You could hear the frustration out of Eric Nixick in the corner. Mm-hmm. He's trying to tell him, "Hey, man, I need more of you." And it was no matter what anyone wants to say, when you're sitting there judging that fight, I guess one of the judges gave the first round to Strickland, I would think. But Du Plessis, it was the volume for the most part.
Yeah.
And you can sit there and say, okay, well, maybe Strickland had more volume in the fourth round. No, he got his nose broken and had to reset it, which I give him credit for because it sucks to reset your own nose. But because it was definitely doing a U-turn and he got it straight again. But it's volume. The volume of he is very impressive in the fact that DDP has this volume and he's got a gas tank for a guy that's carrying a lot of muscle. It's unusual.
Yeah. They both have a gas tank. They both do. Just DDP is okay with emptying it. Whereas tonight was the first time I sat there and watched Sean Strickland, and I realized that he doesn't have an overdrive. He has first and second gear, and then that's it. There's no 3, 4. I think the only time I've ever seen gear 3 is when he dropped Izzy, jumped on him, and tried to get him out of there. That was the only time I ever saw gear 3. There's no shift into 4, 5, and 6. There's nothing there. John, like when your core, even in the last fight, when your corner is telling you need to win this round, you need to get him out of there. There's no sense of urgency. There's no sense of urgency with Sean. It's like if he can't get it done doing what he's doing, then he's not. Then there's no I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna fuck. He's not doing the Max Holloway point to the ground. Let's see what. That's not him.
No,
that's not him. And I don't know, as a coach or as a promoter or anyone else, any other fighter, I'm thinking to myself, like, this is it. This is what you've been like. You're not getting another title shot for a long time. Not the things that come out of your mouth. That's one.
No. Yeah.
Not by the way, not like the things that you've said. Not like all the build up. It doesn't work anymore now. If you're gonna just fight like that, like it's done. Like now you're gonna be at the back of the line in this division, and it'll be a while. I think it'll be years. It'll be 2.5, maybe 3 years. I think if he ever gets back.
That's 2 losses to DDP and 2 losses where it was the same fight, except for more takedowns in the first one. It was basically the same fight,
Yeah.
And it was a matter of Du Plessis just has more output, and Sean's output is pretty high, but because DDP throws a lot of shots, Sean takes those steps back, and every time he does it, he's not being offensive. He resets. Here comes DDP again, backs off, comes and resets. Here comes DDP again, and there's no offense coming out of him, compared to what is the usual. Because you can look at, even in this fight, he broke, Bisping's, significant strike stat. I guess they have that as a record up there, but not in this fight. I mean, as far as the amount of output is low when you're looking at someone that fights the way that DDP does against him, and he's got to change that up. It's a mental thing. It's, I thought Eric Nixick did everything that, you could ask a coach to do, and trying to get you pumped, trying to get you, understanding you're losing these rounds, man. I need more of you. I need more volume. Hey, we need this round. This round I need. It just wasn't there.
Yeah. No sense of urgency. If I'm a promoter, if I'm Dana White, I'm sitting there watching cage side going, like, what happened with all the talk, all the stuff that you said you were going to do, all the action you were going to push. Like, and then when you're, the Dana, because I know Coker used to do it. I know Dana talks about it all the time, is when he sits there, he's listening to what the corners are saying. He
Sure.
wants to know what the reactions are. He wants to know what's going on. And there was no sense of urgency. Like the other thing too, as Eric Nixick he's a great coach. He's telling him, and Sean looks at him and just goes, "Yeah, I know." Like, well, if you know, then do something. I've seen it in world-class guys. Like they have that extra gear. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'd rather go out on my shield than just keep doing what I'm doing in round 5. Like this is why you like that old like this is why you fucking run all those sprints. This is why you lift all those fucking weights. This is why you do all this stuff. And to do what? To go out there and be like, you know what? Yeah, I got by in the 5th round. I mean, think about what kind of fights we would have got had the guys been like that. Like in the Robbie Lawler and Roy McDonald fight, had we just got the guy who decided to go out there and not do anything in round 4 or 5, whatever it was. Hell no. They just tonight was the Izzy and Gastelum fight getting entered in.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. I'm sorry, but neither one of those guys came out there in round 5 was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and just cruise. I just and look, and in all fairness too, and I gotta be brutally honest. A lot of people don't like Sean in terms of like his mouth and things he says. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but I'm a fan of Sean Strickland. I really do enjoy watching him fight. But what I don't enjoy, and this goes for every fighter, is I don't enjoy when I know that this is your second go around for a title. You told us it would be different, and nothing changed. Yeah. And then in rounds 4, rounds 5, after round 1, you could see, and even Eric Nixick was saying, hey, you're just falling back into what you were doing. Like, no, I need more output. And then nothing changed. And then round 3, I need more output. Nothing changed. You've got to make it. Now, I know there's times in my career, there's times I know in fighters' careers, you're just not feeling it. Things are just seem like they're not working. But you can't do it twice to the same guy. It can't be on the biggest stage of your career, when you were defending the title, and then when you're trying to get the title back. Like, it can't be that. You've got to make those adjustments in between rounds. That's what separates champions in all sports. Absolutely. Is to come in at halftime and go, look, we're down by fucking 15. You got to make adjustments. 10. I got to make these adjustments, and I got to come out and get it done. That is a championship mentality. You've got to be able to make those adjustments, and he doesn't have that. I don't know if maybe I've just always overlooked it, but it doesn't seem to be there. He's got first gear, second gear, and an occasional third. There's no 4, 5, 6. And so what do you do if what you're doing isn't working because it's worked for you in the gym and sparring, it's worked for you in past fights? If it's not working for you, what do you do, John? I mean, you've seen it inside the cage. What have you seen other guys do?
You see the adjustments, and that's what makes guys that you go, hey, he's trying and he's going. And it's not that Sean's not trying. Obviously he's trying, but he's not figuring out that, his style is a very basic style. We talked about this in the last show. Look, he's boxing centric. He throws a teep. That's basically the only kick he throws. So you've got a teep kick, you got a left hand and a right hand. Well, don't be, I'm not saying that he hasn't gotten along very well with that. In fact, he won the championship with it. So it's not that it hasn't worked, but there's always going to be that guy, and DDP is the guy for him, that he can accept that teep and he can accept the way that you throw. And he just decides, I'm going to be aggressive. Sean likes to counter a lot, but he's not countering against DDP.
Yeah.
And it's that volume and that attack and the way that Du Plessis, he attacks. It's got Sean where he's being very defensive, and he just is basically lacking in volume that can win him the fight. He's going to have to. I'm honest. There's not going to be a third fight.
No.
You got 2 fights. Where you lost both of them. Neither one was not that you guys weren't fighting, but they weren't, stellar performances as far as, wow, I got to see that again. So that's a fight that's just not going to happen. And unless not as champion, Du Plessis is not going to see Strickland again.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't want to see that fight again. Even if
Yeah.
even if it wasn't for a title, I have no desire to see that fight again. Neither fight was good. They were both okay.
Yeah.
That was it. And I think once you take away the fact that the excitement of it, potentially the title changing hands, and you just make that a regular fight, it's not, the energy's not there. It's just a fight. Like, I've seen it twice and I wasn't impressed with either performances from both fighters. I thought DDP fought a very good fight. He didn't need to do too much. He did just enough to win. I thought not just enough. He did enough definitely to win.
I have no problem with anything he did. I thought,
I don't.
Man, you got to look, because he was doing spinning attacks. He was going, he was throwing kicks. He's doing, hey, he's using a full toolbox for the most part. Really didn't do any grappling. The takedown at the end of the round, big freaking deal. But hey, he's still going after him with all these different attacks. Okay, you're a difficult guy to deal with, and it's the amount. You know what it's like when you're fighting someone that is a pressure fighter that actually throws at you a lot. It's a lot to deal with. There's a lot there, and DDP does it very well, and it absolutely puts Sean, I want to say, on his back foot, because he's always backing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's always backing away from it and then resetting. You can't do that. You got to either engage it and counter it, or you got to be the one setting that attack.
Yeah, look, there's two guys already ahead of him. So you've got Chimaev and Imavov. Those two guys are already ahead of Sean Strickland. So it will be a long time before he gets a title shot. That's not only that, but then I think you're going to see Sean probably drop all the way down to like either right before Izzy, maybe even right after Izzy. They'll probably be somewhere in that mix somewhere. But then, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing maybe a Robert Whittaker and Sean Strickland fight.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
That's a fight to make. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.